As you can see, we have several guests with us here this morning to celebrate and to kick off the Lexington Global Entrepreneurial Week, Entrepreneurship Week. I'd first like to invite Deputy Secretary Eric Dunnigan of the Cabinet for Economic Development to make an exciting announcement. So please join me in welcoming Deputy Secretary Dunnigan.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Take away the weather. This is a pretty good way to start out Global Entrepreneurship. I think it was, 65 degrees in Kentucky last Monday? So anyway, I appreciate this opportunity, and I want to thank Bob and his team here in the city of Lexington for allowing me to participate on such an exciting event. You know, this probably goes without saying, but the reality is in Kentucky, the small businesses that we're celebrating today, they are the backbone of this economy. They are what makes up the majority of the employers. And to kind of put that in perspective for you, we talk a lot about Toyota, we talk a lot about Lexmark, we talk a lot about Big Ass Solutions. 97% of the employers in this state are small businesses. Think about that. 97% of the companies we go to work for every day are small businesses. That doesn't count Lexmark and Toyota, Xerox, those companies. They make up 3% of the employers in this state. And what that means is that for us to move this economy forward, we have to support our small businesses, and more importantly, we have to get more entrepreneurs out there starting small businesses in this state. Just over a year ago, our cabinet, the Cabinet for Economic Development, launched the Office for Entrepreneurship. Within that office, we provide guidance and support to startup operations, assist existing small businesses with growth opportunities, and work to create a pipeline of activity. In addition to that, we oversee the Kentucky Innovation Network. That network is a statewide network of business mentors that support our small businesses. They truly are the foundation for trying to get innovative new ideas and technology-driven companies off the ground. From product development to marketing to small business advocacy, these offices will support our small business growth. Another reason for our success is the Small Business Innovation Research Grants and the Small Business Technology Transfer Matching Funds program. Kentucky's SBIR-STTR program serves as a model for other states as we continue to grow and attract more applicants from around the state and throughout the country. Since its inception in 2006, Kentucky's SBIR-STTR program has awarded nearly $49 million to support 100 companies in the Commonwealth. These 100 businesses, nearly a third of them relocating from outside of Kentucky, have leveraged an additional $85 million in federal funds and have created over 500 jobs in the Commonwealth. Today, we're very proud to celebrate 4 new companies that are utilizing the SBIR-STTR program to grow their innovative businesses right here in the Commonwealth. These companies are developing some of the nation's most promising technologies. The first one, Gizmo Therapeutics, Inc. Gizmo Therapeutics is a biotech startup developing novel oral therapeutics for Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. Dr. Bruce O'Hara, the Director of Research Operations at Gizmo Therapeutics, joins us today. Dr. O'Hara. Multi-Scale Solutions. Multi-Scale Solutions serves the big data market by empowering researchers and engineers to design solutions for research and development problems with new generation text and data mining tools. Mr. Alex Vaznikoff, the President and Chief Technology Officer, is here with us today. NanoWrench Environmental Systems. NanoWrench has developed a highly sensitive nanosensor technology that will be used to continuously measure mercury emissions from coal power plants, helping them stay in compliance with the EPA's regulations. From NanoWrench Environmental Systems, we are joined by their president, Dr. Nailan Kumar, and Vice President Manuel Garcia. PatentRank is a pioneer in patent valuation and an intellectual property management field measuring the network dynamics of the U.S. innovation ecosystem. Today we are joined by their owner and founder, Dr. Monty Schaefer.
I think the snow's kept him away.
Okay, the snow has kept Dr. Schaefer away. Please join me in welcoming Gizmo Therapeutics, Inc., Multi-Scale Solutions, NanoWrench Environmental Systems, and PatentRank to Kentucky. These 4 companies have chosen to grow their businesses right here in Lexington, creating a combined 17 new jobs, paying average wages over $80,000 per year. They could have built their businesses anywhere, but they chose Kentucky because we are at the heart of small business growth in this country. In fact, according to the most recent data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Kentucky ranked first among all states for the percentage of business establishments last year. Think about that. First out of all 50 states in the number of new businesses that were established. That's great. It's clear Kentucky is gaining serious momentum as we grow our small business community, and that's because of companies like these. But it's also thanks to the tireless efforts of our community partners, such as Mayor Jim Gray, who understands traveling this week, Bob Quick and his team at Commerce Lexington, Warren Nash and the Kentucky Innovation Network, and the Bluegrass Business Development Partnership. There are so many great ideas all over the Commonwealth. You help these ideas come to life, which in turn creates jobs and grows our entire economy. To everyone here today, thank you. Thank you for pursuing your dreams and for creating a positive impact in our communities and on our Kentucky families. Congratulations.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary Dunnigan. We always enjoy having Eric with us. He's been a terrific advocate for our businesses for many, many years. So welcome back, and thank you for your time with us this morning. Some of our strongest ambassadors are to recruit companies like the ones here today come from our existing businesses. And I'd like to thank and recognize Dr. Sabode Doss, former Commerce Lexington board member and the president of Lexington-based Phoenix. Initially brought Nano Ranch Environmental Systems to Kentucky and started the conversation. So we're thankful to Dr. Doss's efforts. And I want to highlight that specifically because a lot of our really good leads come from people just like you who are aware, because of all your efforts, of individuals out there that would be a perfect fit for Kentucky and of course here in Central Kentucky especially. So we want to thank all of you and always plant that seed, and for you to plant that seed with your friends and colleagues as well. One of our biggest strengths in recruiting companies like these is the Bluegrass Business Development Partnership, and you'll often hear us use the acronym BBDP. But I'll try not to use that today because we have developed one incredible partnership, and that's a partnership between the City of Lexington, University of Kentucky, and Commerce Lexington. When we recruit companies like these, all three partners of BBDP are at the table. And when I travel and I hear all these different communities, they rave about how well we work really great with our university and our public-private, but what they can't say is that they're all co-located like we are. So when the customer, you come to town, you sometimes don't know who it is until we finally identify ourselves. You just know as a customer you want help, you want support, and we're there. And we do it in a very seamless, transparent way. And we have found it's paid huge dividends over the years. So again, I think it's a strategic, incredible partnership and strategy that we have here. So please help me join me in welcoming one of our incredible partners. We get to work with him day in, day out. Again, transparent, seamless. Sometimes we even finish our sentences together. But I'd like to have Mr. Kevin Atkins, the Chief Development Officer of the City of Lexington, come forward to make a few comments.
Thanks, everybody. Good morning. And what a great way to start off the week at the Kickoff Global Entrepreneurship Week. I want to introduce one other person that, you talk about partnerships. We can't do a lot of what we do without a council that is also supportive, and I want to recognize Council Member Harry Clark, who is sitting back there. This is the fourth year we've celebrated Global Entrepreneurship Week in Lexington, and each year has brought progress and growth. I'm pleased to represent the mayor today. He's actually out of the country this morning practicing a little global entrepreneurship himself. He's focusing on innovation and workforce programs in Germany this morning. If you haven't checked out the Global Entrepreneurship website, it's worth a visit. For example, this week is celebrated in more than 140 countries around the globe. As for Lexington, this event is helping to build our city's reputation as a center for high-tech businesses, as the growing number of venture capitalists here who are making things happen. And the mayor has developed a new incentive with the support of our council, and it's called the Jobs Fund. This fund provides another possible source of funding for high-tech businesses. 9,000 jobs. That's how many have been created in Lexington in the past 4 years. And now 150,000 people are employed in this community, which is more than at any time in our city's history. We've climbed out of the recession and we're moving ahead. Our venture capitalist and high-tech sector are providing those spark plugs for us. So at this time, I get to do something that's a lot of fun that the mayor usually gets to do. And if Jenna and Warren can come up for just a moment. Harry, why don't you come up and join us too? We have the mayor before he left did this proclamation, and I'll just read it real quickly to you. It says, I, Jim Gray, Mayor of Lexington, in celebration of our local innovators and job creators, do hereby proclaim November the 17th through the 21st, 2014 as Global Entrepreneurship Week in Lexington.
Here's the thing for a second.
All right.
Oops. Again, I'd like to thank Kevin and Mayor Gray for their help in recruiting these companies to Lexington and for their partnership. And as I said, and I wasn't kidding, sometimes we do finish each other's sentences, which just tells you I think we're in sync and in line with each other. Also, it's my pleasure. I get to serve with this gentleman on the Commerce Lexington Board of Directors, but we'd like to hear from the Dean of the College of Business at the University of Kentucky, which, by the way, where I have two kids, one on both ends, senior and a freshman, so we're paying our fair share here. It's been a phenomenal experience for them. You've been a tremendous asset to our board, and we're glad to have you here. So, Dr. David Blackwell, would you please come up and give a few comments for us?
Thank you, Bob. And to the companies that have chosen to locate in Kentucky, thank you for giving us an opportunity to serve you. The University of Kentucky has really three major missions: teaching, research, and service or engagement. And a big part of the Gatton College of Business and Economics mission is engagement with the business community, and we want to help in any way we can. And certainly we try to do that through the Von Allman Center for Entrepreneurship and through our support of the Innovation Center here in Commerce, Lexington. But please feel free to reach out to us if we can help. Don't complain to me about any broken promises about the weather that Bob made.
Not sure what happened. We're working on it. Working.
But I assure you, he did his best to avoid this. But
Slip.
so it's really very exciting to be here today, and thank you for letting us be a part of it. There's a lot of exciting things going on campus right now, buildings everywhere, including the Gatton College facility. But it's really exciting to be part of the continued success of the Bluegrass entrepreneurship ecosystem. And I believe it's in part due to the ongoing efforts of University of Kentucky's Von Allman Center for Entrepreneurship. And I think we've got Miriam and Warren. There's Miriam, and of course Warren and Dean. Please stand and be recognized, and thank you for all you guys do. We're very proud to have the Von Allman Center as part of the Gatton College. They were moved administratively to the college a couple of years ago, and I think we've got a great partnership going, and really enjoy working with all three of them. They're a very important contributor to the mission of our college. Of course, we enjoy working with the Lexington office of the Kentucky Innovation Network, and then our key partners at Commerce Lexington, and of course the City of Lexington. And then all of this is supported by the Cabinet for Economic Development, and we think it's a great partnership. The recruiting of startup companies, which we are announcing today, and the announcement of the most recent recipients of the BGA Launch Grant Fund are just two more great examples of the types of initiatives being created by the BBDP, the Bluegrass Business Development Partnership, trying to get that out, with the financial support of our partners. As it specifically relates to the four companies relocating that are announced today, the BBDP has again leveraged Kentucky's great SBIR, STTR matching program and the intellectual assets of UK's faculty and researchers, as well as our labs and research facilities. These companies contribute to the growing and flourishing entrepreneurial landscape of Lexington and Kentucky. And the University of Kentucky and the Gatton College of Business and Economics is very pleased to be a part of attracting these companies from across the country to Lexington. We recognize the importance of the research that these companies are conducting and the commercial potential of their research. And we look forward to ongoing and collaborative efforts with all of the companies and encourage them to keep thinking and seeing blue. Welcome to Lexington.
Really, I stayed up all last night trying to work on the weather. I'm not sure what happened. Thanks for pointing that out. We all know it. But anyway, it happens, right? It happens. As you've heard from our speakers, we have many great companies with us here today. So to speak on behalf of the new companies, I'd like to ask Dr. Bruce O'Hara, the Director of Research Operations of Gizmo Therapeutics, to come forward for a few remarks.
Well, from a personal experience, I can second everything that's been said this morning. In fact, one reason I'm here today representing Gizmo is because I had another startup company, Signal Solutions, here that formed with a professor of engineering, I was a professor of biology, and we decided to try to get that company up and running, and just got so much help from Warren Nash and Commerce Lexington, the business school. I was really amazed at the whole environment here. I've been here about 10 years now, and prior 12 years I was at Stanford, center of Silicon Valley, did 2 startups there, and really felt, despite being there, we never really got much support, and both those companies died. And came here about 10 years ago and really was surprised at the entrepreneurial spirit in Lexington, especially for just a mid-sized city, and Kentucky as a whole. So our company, the first company, like I say, got a lot of help and did well. So when my old colleague and collaborator of many, many years, Paul Greger, came up with this idea for new Alzheimer's drugs and Parkinson's drugs, which I really was excited about, a really new mechanism to potentially stop that initial amyloid interaction with these glycosaminoglycans and could stop that first step in developing Alzheimer's disease. I worked on it from the beginning to consider moving to Lexington. And so the first step, there's most of my the Sanders Brown Center on Aging. There's a lot of great Alzheimer's researchers here, so I hooked them up with some collaborators there, Dr. Paul Murphy, and that collaboration took off. I helped him write his SBIR grant, which I had a lot of experience with, and we got that. We were able to convince him to move operations and his city company here to Lexington, especially again the Aztec Center is really a great location for academic industry interactions. That's where the first company was. Got him to move his company there, so it creates a really nice environment to have both subcontracted research on campus, research in the Aztec Center, and for actually both companies, it's working really well. I think both have a great future. So, like I said, I've just really been pleased with everything that's all the support at the university, the city, the state of Kentucky, and it's really been great for both companies. And again, if we can come with new drugs for Alzheimer's, this would be really exciting. And I think we're on our way. It's going well. So I want to say thanks to all these different programs and all the help we've gotten from both companies.
Thank you, Dr. O'Hara. And coming from someone whose family has had Alzheimer's in it, and a mother who passed away a few years ago after 20 years of fighting the disease, what I love about Lexington and Central Kentucky and the University of Kentucky, the Center on the Sanders Brown Center on Aging, and companies just like yours, is that we work day and night, 24/7, 365 days a year, trying to figure out that cure. And I have no doubt that we will. But thank you. And again, all the other companies that may not be specific to that type of research, but to how we're going to advance the world to make it a much better place. Again, we're very grateful. So Dr. O'Hara, thank you for your comments. and your efforts with Gizmo and Therapeutics relocation to Lexington. And at this point, I'd like to have the companies that we've just recognized for the SBIR to come forward and have a photo with the speakers. So if you would come forward, don't be shy. I know you're and our speakers. Come on up. You know, we hear this an awful lot about how people get treated when they come to Lexington, Central Kentucky. We hear the fact that the hands-on assistance that they get, and I want to let you know it's a very important strategic thing that we do because we do care and we appreciate your investments. We want to grow them and make you very successful here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Slide in there.
There you go. All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. One more. All right.
Thank you.
One more thing, Bob, I'm only self-promoting, I want to give him a little gift. We're coming. There you go.
All right, we're not done. We've got more good things here. So next, I would like to invite Dr. Brian Left. Doctor, I did it again. Mr. Brian
he's a doctor.
Leftman, to the front to announce the awardees of the Bluegrass Angels Launch Grant. Mr. Leftman is a member of the Bluegrass Angels and a panel member for the grant program. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Brian Leftman.
I was a pre-med dropout in college, actually.
I didn't mean to bring that back up.
Well, everything turned out okay. I'm a proud member of the Bluegrass Angels. I'm Brian Luffman, and notice I'm not the only member of the Bluegrass Angels in the room, so I'm going to try to speak on everyone's behalf. But I guess we're the holy grail for the first initial step for any entrepreneur in Lexington, where entrepreneurs have a dream, and that's why we love them. But at the same time, they need money and they need resources to get to their goals. And not many of the companies that we see pitches from end up getting funded. I mean, it's a small percentage, but they're all worthy. But there's a whole lot of worthy companies that meet our criteria that aren't quite there yet. And that's why I think Warren, I'm not sure who came up with this idea of creating this launch fund, but it's coinciding with the BBDP, the Bluegrass Business Development Project and our partnership, and then the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development and the Bluegrass Angels. We've all put in money to a fund where we have 5 panelists. I'm one of them, and we have companies come in and give us pitches, more or less. It's a little miniature version of Shark Tank, the television show. And there's a lot of companies that need just a small amount of funding to get them to that next step, whether it be get them through the intellectual property and patent process, or create a beta test for a product that they have developed, or maybe attend a trade show and try to get the word out about their company. And these are the type of steps that they need to take before they can actually get real seed funding and get to that next step. And so the criteria that we've set forth are that the applicants have to have already formed a company. They obviously have to have an idea or some type of business that they've come up with, but they have to have formed the company and be a client of the Kentucky Innovation Network. So they have to work with Warren and Miriam and get started in that process. They also need to have their primary place of business in Kentucky, and preference is given to those within the reach of the Lexington office in Fayette County and many of the surrounding counties in central Kentucky. Companies are typically, like I said, pre-revenue or very early stage. The 3 companies that we're going to present checks to today, actually all 3 have something in common where they already have clients. And not many entrepreneurs can say that, and that's a really impressive step. And some of the companies that we've funded before also have clients, and that's really impressive that they're coming to us for a small amount of money when they already have clients, but they're really trying to ramp up their businesses, and we recommend that. So the awards are given after, and they're anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000, and it's non-dilutive funds, so that we're not investing in these companies per se from an equity standpoint. We're giving them a grant so they can use that money, not worry about diluting their shareholders or taking away their equity, but they can actually use that money to help build their business and maybe get to the stage where they can get equity. But also they give us a 5-minute pitch. They come in, they give us, I think it's 5 minutes, and then they have a whole question and answer session. But the best part is when they get that money, when they actually receive the grant, that's where it doesn't stop there at all. And the panelists on the panel are all very savvy, smart entrepreneurs themselves, or they've worked with entrepreneurs, and they are willing and very generous with their time to mentor these companies and help them get, not only just from that money standpoint, from a mentoring standpoint, get them attached or connected to the people that can help them grow their businesses. And we're already working with these companies to try to get them to that next stage. So I think that's the best part about this, is that these entrepreneurs are connected to people that are willing to help them, and a network of people that want to, not only just getting money. So the first 2 grants were announced in September at the Lexington Venture Club, and I noticed one of the grant recipients in the room was Scanty Technologies. And today I'm pleased to announce that the next 3 participants, these 3 companies, like I said, are already generating revenue with really impressive businesses that they've created. And I'm somewhat surprised that they are not farther along, and that's not a knock on them at all. It's just, this shows you the type of caliber of entrepreneur that are here in Lexington, and it's really impressive. The first one is Endow Energy, and there are oil wells. This isn't Texas, this is Kentucky, but there are abandoned oil wells all over the state of Kentucky that maybe still have the capability of being a viable revenue source. And these 2 gentlemen have come up with a technology that's very low footprint, very easy to implement. They come in with the pumping technology, and they can actually regenerate these wells, and using acid and other types of technology that they've come up with, they can actually get these wells producing again. And they partner with the landowner or whoever owns the pumping, and it's impressive. And they already have 1 test in the field, and they're trying to grow this business and actually start generating more oil through some of these wells that have already been, the main cost has already been sunk in with the drilling. So that's an impressive company that we just funded. Another one is Hippo Manager Software. It is a fully integrated veterinarian interface. So it's a software for vet management. So they do appointments, billing, financials, everything that a veterinarian office would need. But they're also taking it a step further by helping to use that software to drive more revenue to the vet. And that's a really impressive concept, where they can actually come into a veterinarian and say, we're going to take your revenue from here to here using a simple software. Here's how it works. And who could say no to that? So that's another impressive company. And then lastly, Trifecta, which they're tackling a hilarious business, no offense, but the pawn shop industry. And they're trying to take the pawn shop industry and implement a software and I'm probably butchering your business plan, but they're helping manage their inventory and help them keep track of how long they've maintained an inventory, and they can make a network where they actually pawn shops can trade within each other, I believe. So all 3 companies are very impressive. We're thrilled to be a part of funding them, and alongside with all of our partners in this fund. We're the lucky ones that get to hand out the money, but the fact is, this won't go on without the City of Lexington and University of Kentucky and the Commerce Lexington. And it's just a great partnership, and I hope it continues, and the Bluegrass Angels. So we're thrilled to keep these coming, and then hopefully you guys can take this money and build to a point where you can come back and pitch the Bluegrass Angels, and then we can give you some real funding and get you to that real next level. And that's all of our goal. I hope it's yours as well, and congratulations.
They want to get their big checks, okay? So they've got the real thing already, right? All right, and now, there's you, there's you. And good group. And Eric and Kevin, David, come on up. Bob, did everybody get in there? Jenna, come on up. Everybody together, get closer. Okay. Gentlemen, there you go. Is that close enough to do about it? Can you get us all in?
It's yours.
All right. One more. All right, perfect.
Thank you. All right.
Well, as you can see through the cabinets, SBIR, STTR matching program, and the Bluegrass Angels launch program, we're continuing to grow our high-tech and entrepreneurial sector. And I still remember the first event when the team, the Bluegrass Business Development Partnership team was sitting down to map out the Entrepreneurship Week. And it was amazing how many things and just how active this community was. And so to today, how things have really grown and come together. And I think it's a real testament of how far we as a community have come and how everyone's partnering and working together. One other thing I want to do before I move on, would all the Bluegrass Angels, just raise your hand. Those of you who are involved with Bluegrass Angels. Thank you. Right. So we're excited to kick off Global Entrepreneurship Week with these announcements. This is our first event. We want to highly encourage all of you to come back to as many events throughout the week. If you're asking what are those events and when are they, right over here along the curtained area, we have a table set up with different information about the different events. But we also have the week-long calendar. And I want to tell you something, they're great events. You'll be glad that you took the time to go to them, even if it is too hot outside or too cold. But we hope you do that. And then also, Todd Henry is going to be speaking this Thursday, November 20th at the Larry on how to be brilliant at a moment's notice. If you've not heard Todd, and I'm going to guess maybe you have not, he would be well worth your time to come and listen and get that word out as well. So help yourself to all the materials over there. And finally, I'd like to get a picture with the Bluegrass Angels and their awardees of the launch grant right after this. But again, thank you all very much for coming out today, for your time. Thank you very much to our 3 companies that we're recognizing, or 4 companies we're recognizing here today. We appreciate your investment. There's always one thing we always say is that, the treatment you've gotten so far by coming, guess what? It just gets better and better because we're always there for you, and we just don't leave you at the door and say thanks for coming, but we work with you. And again, it's because of the team approach that I think we're successful. So thank you for your investment, your confidence, and let's just keep creating more companies and that interest to come here to our region. So with that, I'm going to open up any questions from the media, from individuals here. Great, thank you very much and have a wonderful day.